True. So true. Tell me.
What?
Tell me your secrets.
You want to know?
No.
Oh,
No.
I'm telling you.
Oh, today I don't know how good we're gonna cover this one, but we're gonna try it out. Try and do it.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, dude. But it was warm here too.
Was it hot?
Were you here part of the day?
Yeah, I didn't leave till probably at like noon almost.
Yeah, it warmed up. Once it got warm, it got warm.
Oh, dude, when you go out there, I was fucking baking. Speaking of bacon.
You're right.
So yesterday, I'm talking to the drummer Coffee Lines, Kevin, and my buddy, and I was like, listen, there's a band called the Jasons playing, and they have a gimmick. They put like Jason masks on, and they sing like about killing people.
Everybody needs a gimmick.
That's what I mean.
You
So
gotta have a gimmick.
I was like, dude, I got it. We'll start the Kevins. I'm like, it'll be me, you. I'm like, Kevin fucking Bacon, Kevin Costner, and fucking Kevin Arnold from the Wonder Years. I'm like, we'll sing about Winnie Cooper. We'll sing about fucking Tremors. We'll sing about fucking people that can't dance in a prohibited place where you're not allowed to dance. And we'll sing about Fields of Dreams and like Robin Hood and shit, dude. It's a win. And I was like, everybody in the band's named Kevin. And they're like, Jimmy. And I was like, I'm changing my name. But otherwise, like, dude, like, yeah, it's going to be on, dude. Like, there's no way it can stop us.
Isn't Kevin from the Wonder Years? Isn't his name Fred Savage?
Yeah, but he's gonna reprise the role, dude, just at an older age. We already figured that one out.
All right. Antisocial experience 258.
Oh my god,
Citizens,
that's
not
a high
business.
number.
258.
Yeah,
We just keep reusing the same number each
I
week.
hope I get to 420 because that's just gonna be the weed episode. Because if you made it that far, everybody's got to get high. Like I don't even care. We're getting a neighbor lady high that day because we made it to 420.
Oh.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, I got you. But no,
maybe.
Dude, I want to take a moment and point out. Did you graduate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so did I. I want to take and point out how important it can probably be for an education and not.
But is it?
Is it like education in learning the basic skills? And maybe you don't need an education for that, but
well, no, I think like learning to read, write, blah 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 blah, all that up until like 6th grade is good. But like the history, it's all fake. Fucking, fucking algebra and bullshit like that. You know how many times I've used algebra in my life?
Right,
Negative.
right.
Yeah, like
there's a certain point I believe. Yeah, you need educated too, and in certain basic skills.
Yeah, you got to be able to communicate. You got to be able to. Yeah.
Obviously, you can't believe everything you hear.
No.
And I one thing that I really hope comes into play, and granted, you can't be a platform like Google or YouTube and just be shutting people down over hearsay, but sites that spread disinformation or bad information, I don't think that should be. You know what I mean? They should be able to grow platforms based on that, and sadly, there is. One of the things, and I think they did start limiting it recently, within the past couple of years, was the whole flat Earth thing. Like there was channels that had followings making income based on that shit. Another one is the sovereign citizen movement, and that's kind of what I was talking about today. Just with the thumbnail, just a little spin on one of their things. Go on any video sharing platform, mainly YouTube. They're the biggest probably. And you can find videos, right, of people that are getting pulled over. And it's all the same spiel. And other people, there's even been people from other countries. And I got to wonder, does this shit happen in other countries? But there's people from other countries that have representatives that they'll call on the phone when they get pulled over that'll tell them what to say to police. And what, like the main spiel or what they run over is, this isn't business. This isn't commercial. I'm driving in my personal vehicle. I don't need a license. I don't need registration. I'm not a slave to the state. I'm not a part of this country, And it's like, you're driving on a public roadway, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, but as soon as you get a social security number, you're a slave. That's what
Right,
that's what it
right.
entails. Yeah.
Maybe there's people without them these days.
I've heard of people actually who try. I know people actually who tried, like didn't get one in the hospital and like tried to get, their kid or whatever through it without, and like
They can't get
you
it.
can't get it in school. You can't do anything without it. You can't you can't fucking do anything without one.
No,
You know what I mean? Like you can't. So
no.
it's nearly impossible to live without one.
And it almost undoubtedly either A, they bring up the Constitution, okay, which understand, we gotta uphold that, if you believe in that thing, but, you gotta uphold the Constitution, okay? But they refer to a very, very arbitrary part of it, of I don't know if it's Constitution or Bill of Rights about citizens not being obstructed
Mhm.
if they're traveling using their horse-drawn carriage, personal buggy, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, it was written well before the invention of what?
Cars, but at the same sense, like, it's still kind of the same concept, like,
Right,
they're
it
not
is.
wrong, like,
They're no, not wrong, but also
we're getting fucked regardless, like,
yeah, but it's been well established that you wanna drive, this is how you go about doing it.
I know, but it's just yeah, it just sucks it is that way, you know? Because, like, let's
Yeah,
look back to it, so some asshole just made that rule, you know what I mean?
yeah, at
That's all
some
there is
point.
to it, you know? Just like
Are you a
no
sovereign citizen, Jimmy?
no, but I just believe, like, you know what I mean? Like, you say about flat earth a lot, and, like, I actually believe in some of that stuff, like, not that the earth's necessarily flat, but there's a lot of things I do believe, like, you
Yeah.
know
No, there are good points on both sides
yeah,
of almost of any debate worth listening to,
'cause
there's good points
'cause,
on
like,
both
I have a
sides.
hard time with, like, the moon landing and stuff like, that was fake as shit, dude, like, there's no fucking way that was real.
Um, yeah, I don't know. My thoughts on it?
I went back and watched it, man, like, it's bad, and, like, here's my big one, like, he's talking on that microphone, right? How they didn't have wireless mics back then, bud. How the fuck did he run a cable from fucking Earth to fucking the moon? Like, co co
No, no, they did radio communication.
yeah, but how did like, it's just there's and he's Neil Armstrong's first guy walking on the moon. Well, who's the guy set up with the camera over here going? You know, like, I mean, I think he had to walk over there, right, to get there. I mean, how else would you get there? Like,
Possibly, yeah.
yeah, so, like, that's a lie.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff to it. There is. Do I get nailed down to a theory to what I believe to it? Probably insult a lot of people, but moon landing, okay? Let's say they're crazy enough to actually fucking do it and pulled it off. I think at best, technology at the time, they did the shit. It was crazier, didn't go according to plan, and then recreated it the best they could while on solid land.
That's fair.
You know what I
That's
mean?
fair. Yeah, like basically covered up the actual disaster that
Yeah.
whatever happened. I believe that.
Or disaster or just whatever, whatever the results were.
I just have a hard time believing that, like, we're this, solar system that's we're traveling millions of hours through space, and you're telling me we have the power to make these little vehicles that can just jump planet to planet. We can just enter the atmosphere right at the right spots and stuff like that's hard to believe. Like that is really hard to believe.
Numbers are a crazy thing. I'm not that educated,
I'm
so
not either,
I
but I'm
can't
just
argue it.
saying, like, that's really hard to believe, you know?
But that's where the education point comes in. Like, obviously, not too super educated in physics, whatever, So I don't think we're the guys to go out and particularly start and head a movement on,
No, and I don't tell anybody anything. Like, you know what I mean?
you know what
Like,
I mean? You can
yeah,
actually have a
yeah,
conversation about it. That's
yeah.
that's easy enough to do. But to go out and start pushing that narrative and
No. It's like pushing a religion or something. It's just no.
yeah,
You don't do it.
based on something you don't know
Yeah.
and that's the whole problem with it. Like, belief is a strong thing. And if you believe you can take and travel as long as you're not doing business and laws and rules don't apply to you, fine. Do it. Like, if you want to. When you do get pulled over, if you do, it's gonna go with every other fail video out there,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And the whole educate like, that's the other thing about, yeah, you're a citizen, you're a person. At least in this country, you have rights. You have this, that,
Couple left, yeah.
They can't just come through your door without being invited in unless there's certain circumstances where they can,
Yeah, like, they do what they want, but, like, yeah, for the most yeah, it says so on the paper
for the
anyway.
most part.
Yeah. The role actually is, we'll say.
Speaking of that, I think of this one video I saw where a guy that had seen videos like that he probably didn't think about the context of what was happening in the videos where the police were there at somebody's door, didn't have a means to be able to break the door down, and were knocking, and the person, like, "I don't answer questions," and shut the door in their face, and it ended up okay for that person in that video. Well, he tried doing the same tactics, outside of his house, out in his yard, being like, "Get off my property," and then tried running from them.
Oh, no, no, it's not the same.
Yeah, it was huge face palm, like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, that's not the same.
Yeah, you can't take, you
I
know,
mean, you can, but it's
it
not gonna
it
end well.
it doesn't end well.
No. You can do whatever you want, but usually a lot of stuff doesn't, and just because you can doesn't mean you should, and we had this discussion yesterday with Bree. Just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean you should.
Right, elevator in an outhouse.
Exactly.
You could definitely do it.
But why, you know?
What is the fucking point?
Yeah, yeah, it's like a garden phone.
You wanna get to the basement to empty the shit
Well,
out
like the garden
easier?
like a
Or
garden phone. Who gets that many calls that they need a phone in the middle of their garden, you know what I mean? Like, it's so dumb, dude. Like, there's no point to it.
oh, I heard I heard somebody else going on. I probably even said it, but and not trying to be inflammatory, but, one of the things about you could do it, but it's probably not a good idea. Japanese botanical gardens in Pearl Harbor at Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, no, no.
Probably not a good thing to attempt. Nothing saying you can't do it.
No, but
Are you gonna be shut down? Are you gonna have people showing up? Yeah, probably not. Not your best plan. I've
yeah,
heard other people bring that up.
I just grow weed instead.
Hopefully not at Pearl Harbor,
No, I don't need
right?
to go that far.
But yeah, no, it's just the if you're gonna jump head into something, get educated on it, and not just if if it's misinformation you're diving into, also probably look at the other side of the coin about what are people not in this community or movement saying. Like, try to weigh both sides of stuff to see like w- what's the more likely result.
Mhm.
Yeah. But is some of the shit entertaining? Hell yeah, yeah, man.
You see what's going on in, like, France and shit too with, like, their strike or whatever?
What's that?
They were trying to raise
We need somebody from France in the audience.
the age of retirement from 65 to 67. Well, the people fucking like, nobody's working. So, dude, there's trash up along the streets that's, like, walls high, like, people's trash and, like, because
No garbage
no
workers,
garbage workers.
and people
The
are still putting their shit out.
the mail hasn't moved, like, there's nobody working, man, because 'cause they're trying to do that to them.
Damn.
Yeah, it's wild, dude, it's wild. You can see stuff, like, on TikTok and stuff, but, like, Instagram and stuff, like, blocks it, you know what I mean? Because they don't want.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. If you don't think news is filtered and different, and you're seeing things exactly how they are, grab a VPN. Get a free trial of a VPN and place yourself into another country. Like, check out the news. We have people that listen and watch in the UK.
Mhm.
Not picking on that country. I think it's a great place. I'd love to visit
I
someday.
would too, man.
But let's say we'll look up news for the UK, right? And see what shows up here, and then use a VPN on your device, on your computer, your smartphone, tablet, whatever, and place it. What it does is it makes it seem like you're in the UK. It's how you can watch, Netflix. All the ads you see people saying
Yeah,
certain shows will be on Netflix in different countries.
yeah,
Same thing. You can get news results because you can make it appear as
and
if you're in the UK and
they'll
not
be
the
completely
US.
different.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
No shit.
Not completely different, like, some of the same stuff will show up, but some stuff that you would never have hope of seeing
Yeah.
will show up if
Wow.
you're in a different
I'll
country.
be goddamned.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing, man. VPNs, that's what they do is they hide your identity, and you can literally one of the many things they do. They
Yeah.
do a lot, but
What a world we live in.
technology, man,
It's the downfall of all of us.
and it's like and and I hate to bring it up, but that's one of the people's arguments, like, about the moon thing and space in general. Like, do you think we could get to the moon, let alone even into space back then when,
I mean, computers were like the size of, those mainframe
right,
computers.
right,
Come on,
right,
man,
right.
that's hard to believe.
But with technology how it is today, and
I, I, f-
people bring that up, and it's
I
like,
feel like it's more of a possibility today, absolutely.
"Oh, hell yeah."
But I still have a hard time believing that they're just flying this little craft just wherever they want, just because they did some calculations. Like, I'm having a hard time with that, man.
I think a lot of testing went into it on the ground,
I understand that, but that's the ground, dude. That's not space. Okay.
right? Yeah, no. When you're going into the unknown with anything, there's just too
Yeah,
many
and then, like
unknown variables.
and sending monkeys or whatever, like, you can send how many monkeys? Like, I don't care, like, where was this video feed coming from? Like, there's a lot going on there that I don't trust anything. I question everything now. Since the pandemic, I question everything, and it's okay to.
Yeah,
It's my
it's
yeah,
great to question things. That's how you can become educated on a
right,
topic more on.
yeah. I just ask because, like, if I'm wrong, then I learn from it, so it's a win-win for me. Plus, and
Yeah.
if I'm right, well, I'm right.
And another example, I think I don't know how it would apply in another country, but at least in this country, say you have a license, right? And you get it suspended for whatever reason, DUI, this, that. It's suspended for driving, DUI, something. And then you take and never do what you need to do. And then that license expires, right? And then get pulled over. It's going to show up that you're driving on a suspended license. Even if your license has expired, the last that was in the system would be suspended.
Yeah.
Now, if it had expired before it got suspended, do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It doesn't kind of work that way. But if it was suspended first and then you just did nothing and then it expired, it's not you're not going to get caught for driving on an expired license. You get caught for driving on a
Suspended
suspended.
license.
Yeah, and some people don't understand that, and they're mainly sovereign citizens that had licenses, got them suspended, and then just never did nothing. Years later, get caught driving without one.
I know people like that.
They're like, "Yeah, no, I don't have one. It's expired." And like, "No, it's
Mhm.
suspended."
Mhm.
Because when they look it up, that's how they see it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
When you say they, you mean the police.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
when the police run it or anybody that has the
Like
power
Sting,
around a
Stuart
license.
Copeland, the whole band of police.
One dude, one thing I would in kind of along the same line of, communities that have formed around the internet, mainly YouTube, are the auditors, the people that go and record in public places. Somebody usually has a problem with it, even though there's cameras fucking everywhere today. Call the cops, cops come in, "What are you doing?" And cops that are educated, you know, some are educated and know they can record in public, some
Yeah,
aren't,
right.
end up costing their city millions or
Yeah,
thousands,
because
whatever.
you can totally record whatever in the public, like
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but no,
I seen one actually where a cop was like, "No, man," like, sorry, this lady was freaking out, he's like, "You can do like, it's totally legal." Like,
yeah,
like, you can't
yeah, no,
I can't do
if
anything
you
about
can
it.
see it they can't restrict your eyes. So if you can see it with your eyes from a public easement sidewalk, why can't you record it?
Right.
The news could,
Yeah.
and, if you wanna do your own press with your own camera or whatnot, you can. But no, what the thing I was talking about that was interesting is, and granted, it was YouTube, it was on the internet, it could have been faked. Didn't seem like it was fake though, just because of the number of badges that were around. But granted, you could hire people to do anything these days. But anyhow, it was a kind of well-known auditor, somebody that was into doing that type stuff,
Mhm.
and he had some, I think it was NYPD officers around him, and, he said something, and one officer, like, leaned into him, like, in close to him, like, "What did you say?" Like, getting in his personal space, and he's like, "Don't lean into me. You heard me." Officer, or whatever his name was, and, he's like, "How long you been on the job? Da, da, da." And the cop was like, I don't have to answer your questions." He's like, "Hold on, I'll get your first name. We'll put your first name out." The auditor was doing this, and he, like, radioed somebody and had the guy's name, how many complaints have been written on him in, like, 20 years. Like, not police didn't run somebody's name, it was just a regular citizen that
Mhm.
would had a YouTube channel. Got the dude's name, and instead of addressing him by officer, whatever, he started calling him by his first name. And it took the ego the guy had where he leaned into him, like, "What'd you say?" And it humbled him real quick. Like, that somebody, got his name that quick and how many complaints were written on him. Basically, his whole performance history for the NYPD or whatever precinct he worked for. It was
Wow.
I wonder, how do you know what I mean? How do you get results that quick? I can't think of technology where you could background check a cop, or any.
Yeah, like, it takes I don't know, I've ran background checks before, and they take a while, you have to fill out a bunch of shit,
Right.
like, a bunch of shit.
But yeah, this happened in real time on camera, no edits, in like 30 seconds. Had his whole history
Wow.
over, like, an earpiece. Yeah, it was nutty. So faked? I don't know,
How mad was
maybe.
that cop?
Huh?
How mad was that cop?
Well, that's what I mean. He was like the cop was the one that had leaned in on the
Right.
person with the camera, like,
Well, how mad was he when he called him out on his
he
fucking name?
wasn't mad, he shut up and quit he
Oh,
quit
yeah, he knew
being,
he was
like, real
fucked.
b egotistical real quick. He just, like, had nothing else to say. Yeah,
Good
and
for him.
I just wonder how they did that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing I'm not smart, though, granted, not that smart, but how you get somebody's employment record, history, how many complaints were written, da, 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 years service, this, that quick? Shit,
Yeah.
no clue. But yeah, going
Shut the
with
fuck up
that.
too, man. You're really smart. Like, no, don't
Yeah,
downplay
but there's
yourself.
a lot of shit I don't know that
Yeah,
I
but there's
would
a lot
love
of stupid
to.
shit everybody doesn't know. Like, you're not gonna know everything
I need to know it all.
unless you're me.
I need to know it all, Jimmy. But no, it's a crazy world out there, and as you said, ask questions
Yeah.
and don't just settle for, you know,
And don't just go with the flow because everything's not what it seems.
no, definitely, certainly not. It 100% is not.
Smoke and mirrors, man.
What is that thing about the only stupid questions are the ones you don't ask?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'll agree with that.
Yeah. I just like to be annoying too. It's like my thing. So it's like, huh?
But no, if you're gonna, I would say maybe unwise words of wisdom or what I don't know. Just some words to maybe possibly follow by. If you're gonna jump into a community and dive headlong into something, find out about what people, how things actually work versus how, how they work there.
Yeah.
You know, I guess act accordingly.
Yeah. 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 Uh, Be a decent person.
Dude, we've ended it so many times on that.
Yeah.
Just be a good person.
Yeah. It's the answer to everything.
It really could be.
Yeah.
I
It
mean, if
is.
you think about it, it could be.
I don't have to think about it. It just is.
Pearl, you getting down on the UK. You better hope somebody from over
I
there
know,
doesn't
right?
watch this back.
They're gonna
So,
hit you on the left side of the road and fucking really show you. She's like that. Even though they drive on the wrong side of the road, they're gonna tie her up and throw her on the wrong side of the road, and they'll be like, "We'll get you, Pearl." Yeah,
uh,
evil Knievel jumper.
a family member who was stationed over there due to service.
Yeah, in the UK.
Yeah,
Really? Okay.
well, yeah, they'd lived there for a while,
Okay.
and they'd come back here to visit, and driving just pulled out right down the wrong side of the road.
Oh
Like, what are you
man.
doing?
Yeah,
What are you
dude.
doing?
That'd be tough though. That'd be tough.
Yeah,
That's
when it's habit, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
because that's what you've been
It's
doing.
an adjustment, man. We are creatures of habit.
Yeah, definitely. And if your habit has been going down that side of the road,
Right.
you might not make the switch instantly. Yeah, he didn't, man. But once he
Wow.
realized, he's like, oh,
It was like that time that guy thought there was a road that went over the Coldstream Dam, and then there wasn't.
oh, a Jeep thing.
Yeah, yeah,
I even know the name of the episode,
yeah.
dude.
Me too.
I'm waiting to do a Jeep thing part two.
It was epic sauce that day.
I'm waiting for it to happen.
I can only hope. I can only hope. And him again. I hope it's him again.
How do you one up that though?
He's
You would
got
almost have to jump
he's
from
got a
322 into the
he's got
dam.
a 360 triple axle on the way down, or this means nothing at this point. You know what I mean? Like it means nothing. The judges in Canada are like, "Dude, it's gonna be a 5 unless he does something really rad. You know, like
Right.
yeah. I don't want to get in the Rustin judges. They're not happy.
What about the local judges?
Well, they need to sober up before they do anything, you know?
Oh shit, yeah. If you haven't seen that episode, go back and check it out. Cause I had heard, but I hadn't like if I remember that episode correctly and like how it surprised me was I had heard, but I hadn't actually stopped for even a second to think about what 1 plus 1 equaled 2 in that matter. Like what happened where and how, and I'm like, "What?"
My
Like, genuinely shocked.
I'll never forget my dad calling me. He's like, he's like, "Jimmy," he's like, "I'm fucking driving to work." And he's like, "It's 4 in the fucking morning." He's like, "It's still dark." He's like, "I'm driving." He's like, I look over, he's like, "And there's lights in the middle of Coldstream Dam." And he's like, "I don't think nothing of it." I turn back around, I slam on the brakes. I was like, "Holy fuck, there's a goddamn Jeep in the middle of Coldstream Dam." And I just started dying laughing. He's like, "I didn't know whether to stop or," I was like, "No, he had it, man. He was good." I was like, "His lights were on."
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But
Go check that episode
but the
out. What
surprise in my dad's voice, he's like, I was like, I look, he's like, then I realized, I'm like, oh my god.
either audio or video.
Yeah,
It was a good one.
dude, yeah, it was fun, especially for that guy.
And could it have been anybody else?
No, no,
Like,
no.
was that a fate or destiny
Yeah,
thing?
it was him and Pat Romano. Pat was in the Jeep too.
Hey,
Don't let him fool you.
hey, man, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It happened. It's been
yeah,
reported on. We reported on it.
yeah, dude, everybody reported on it.
Yeah, but I think we were kind of like,
Dude, and then do you remember the Phillipsburg Journal headline on the same day? And it was like, "There's something new living in Coldstream Dam," is what it said. Fucking at
but
the
it
big
wasn't.
headline. It wasn't about that. It
It
was
was
about,
something
it
else.
was just the irony of it, dude.
Uh-huh. You can't make this stuff up.
No, dude, it was so funny. It was just the timing was impeccable on the newspaper. It's like there's something new living in Coldstream Dam. I'm like, yeah, fucking Jeep, dude.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, I remember all that definitely.
Oh my god, good times.
And like I said, we covered it here. So if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, it's awesome.
If you have seen it, go watch a Jeep thing
Yeah, I
again.
think I might even watch it. It's funny.
I don't know what episode it was, but it was a while back.
It's one like
2020?
2021 is when it was.
Okay.
I want to say like 150 something.
Quite possibly. I'm not certain though. But no, that being said, man, I put the words out there. Don't dive into full on believing anything until you examine something else other than
Right, and don't dive into shallow ends of swimming pools.
the contradicting. But yeah,
Yeah.
point of that.
Yeah, at least it must be 6 feet at least to dive.
Is that safe though?
I don't know, man. I'm not a diver.
I mean, could you see some NBA players diving into 6 feet? That's not
Well,
gonna work
not
too
that. Yeah,
good.
like I can't see Manute Bull jumping on him. He's like 9. He's like 9 feet tall. He's like sticking out like a toothpick. Like I don't know about
Nah,
that.
it's
No,
not happening.
no.
You got to go to the deep end, sir.
But like even me, like I'm gonna go down. Like, yeah, that's tough. I don't know. But, whatever. I'm not a diver. So that's not even that doesn't even matter because I don't even swim. So like I can swim, but I just don't.
Yeah, I don't know. My dad's view on that was he wouldn't get anything any deeper than he could drink, like any more than he could drink. You know, if you think about that, that's not a whole lot of liquid.
Yeah.
And it's like I used to love swimming, but I'm getting more to that point. I don't want in
I just don't. Yeah.
deep ass water either.
No, man. And I definitely don't want in like the ocean or anything. Like, ugh.
I don't know. Maybe that's just a getting older thing.
Yeah. And I hate sand. I fucking hate sand. You're at the beach for 2 days. It's through everything. It's in your clothes. It's in the shower. It's in the fucking, it's just everywhere. It's just like, this sucks. It's sand.
And people go there for vacation.
Yeah. Java's Palace too.
All right. Have a good week, people. Yeah, we said it all. We'll be back to say it all again next week.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Pearl. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I got to find buttons somewhere.
Yeah.